basically with the website per se. So what you can see here is our banner, where you can either join the community or also stay updated with our newsletter. And we can just click on X for now. Of course, we have cookies, so we accept them. And here on the left side, you see Chili. This is our chatbot, and he's helping you to either navigate the website or also with anything else that you have in terms of questions, etc. He's usually asking you how he can help you today, but we can also either click on the cross, or you can just use it to ask a few questions. And maybe important here is that after 7 days, all the information is going to be completely deleted. So this chatbot is really safe, and we're not using your chats for anything else, FYI. Basically, here on the top right, you see the globe. What you can do is you can choose between 28 different languages. So if you feel more comfortable in Turkish or in Swedish, in Finnish, any language that you like. And if you don't see your language, you can also send us a message and let us know if your language is not reflected. So this is basically the website, the landing page, where you can as well join here in our community or check out our news that we have on an ongoing basis that we update regularly. And basically the functionalities itself will be here and also here on the top. So basically we have connect, learn, and grow. And what it means is something that I'm going to show you right now. So if you click on connect, this is entirely for free. This is our movement and our community, because we believe in coming together as a community, not only creating a safe space where we can have different hubs, as you can see here on the left side. You have, for example, parenting with different subgroups where you can actually start posting your own stories if you wish, or comment on something. So for example, we have one post that was recently done about neurodivergent kids being very well accommodated here in Switzerland, and you can anytime reply to the messages. And you can also basically use it with emojis, which you don't see now, but I'm getting there later. So this is still the view if you're not registered yet. What is really important to mention just quickly as a background information, our long-term goal is to do our own research and development as well. The meaning is when we get bigger, when we have 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 community members, we can start our own surveys, because our goal is that we support the research globally, having all geographies and all genders, etc. covered, which at the moment is still pretty scarce, and we would like to support that so we can make sure that long-term we can, have a better global healthcare offering for neurodivergents, and also especially autistic people, because the health landscape is still pretty scarce. And on the other side, in some countries, or in most countries, if you want to push law enforcement, as an example, taking neurodivergence up into the protection scheme for employment is something that we can do, for example, with collecting signatures. You might know change.org, for example, so we can actually also cover that with NeuroMynds, which is leaning more towards systemic change. So this is the connect part. And to stay with connect, I'm just switching quickly into being, let's say, a member. So you can see I am logged in already. So basically, when we go into connect, I just click on anything on the first one. You can click reply here, for example. Obviously, I'm a super user, so I can edit the messages and unapprove things, etc. but for you, there will be a reply button. You can add also like the hubs or the subgroups into your favorites or subscribe. Which is a pretty cool feature. As you can see, there's already a lot of emojis. And if I click on reply as an example, just so you see how the mask looks like, it's pretty basic, right? It's a very classic forum. It's no different than a Reddit or a Discord. And then you can just type something. You can actually also insert emojis, etc. So yeah, basically you just click submit and then it will be in the community. And this is a complete safe space. You don't have to use your real name if you don't wish. We also have a venting room that I love, because sometimes as human beings, we also need to vent and get it out. But we also have workplace, relationships, etc. So anything that floats your boat can be covered here. You can also create your own subgroups or sub-hubs, basically, which is a pretty cool feature. So basically, you can either, for example, here, comment something on the topic burnout and compassion fatigue, but you can also basically make it sticky or super sticky, which means that it will be found on the main how do you say, forum. So basically, you also have support and advice as an example. This is still pretty naked because we just went live a few weeks ago. And yeah, basically, you can put the title of whatever you want to discuss, put the content, and then submit it. And then it will be popped under the apps that actually help ADHD focus. So the title is going to be, let's say, another subgroup, or you just leave the title out, you just put your content here in the big box, and then it's going to be automatically connected to this topic. Apps that actually help ADHD focus. So this is the forum. Anyone is absolutely welcome, not only neurodivergents, but also allies, because I think that especially also when you have a loved one that might have ADHD and or autism or dyslexia or any other neurodivergent, then basically you can also read and support and ask questions. I think this is very important that we keep it very open for everyone and inclusive. And just to quickly go back to the main page, how do you get a member, basically? You click on community, and then what pops up is the login mask, basically. You don't have that yet, but on the right-hand side, first you can see like that we have the community and advocacy, peer support, and anonymized research, what I mentioned earlier. So for you, because you don't have the email address and the password yet, you hit register and you put your email address, you click register, you get an email. And yeah, it works exactly the same way as any other forum online. So that's the connect part. It's entirely for free, and I would really encourage anyone interested joining. And then the second part that we have is learn, because we believe that the community connection is super important, because you shouldn't feel alone, especially when you're later assessed in life, or especially when you're a parent and you're seeking support for your children. It's important that it comes with information. So basically, there's a lot of noise out there, and our platform is neuroaffirmative, meaning that we don't use pathologizing language. We don't put it in the automatic box of disabilities or disease or whatnot. For us, it's a natural cognitive variation, and this is how we treat it. And there's a lot of information out there that is a little bit different from science, and sometimes you have information that are super contradictory. So what we do is we are researching ourselves, and we are putting it into perspective, because sometimes you have a piece of information, but then you have to look at it from different angles and not only from one angle. And this is what we basically do. So if we get a piece of information, we really think about, okay, does it make sense? And in which context are we putting this information? So we also have a lens of philosophy and social anthropology, because neurodivergence is mainly, let's say, connected to difficulties in the environment and the society that we have created. So basically, what we do is really cutting through the noise and helping you to understand the research in an easy way as well, because there's a lot of clinical research, which is amazing, it's fantastic, but it's very complicated, it's very hard to read, and sometimes you have like big chunks of texts, and we wanted to make it as simple as possible. So this is what we do here. And just as a side note, we are working on a subscription model, because we identified that if you are later assessed in life, or if you just got to know about it, it's important to really get the absolute basics, and having, let's say, the base foundation of information before you start basically going deeper. So the idea is that we have one subscription that is really for the basics. So you really understand like the holistic basics of neurodivergence, how it's interconnected with each other, what implications it has like on a daily basis for most people, what are the experiences, etc. So you really understand the basics. And then the second part is going to be the deep dive, basically, where it's about, just as an example, hypermobility, which is like one of the latest research. A lot of neurodivergents do have hypermobility. Where does it come from, etc. But I think if you have just recently found out about your neurodivergence, you don't have to dive into the hypermobility yet. So that's the idea for the second tier of subscriptions. And then we also want to offer like a third one for companies, for example, if they want to do workshops. So they have downloadable content of workshop papers or PDFs, etc. they can use. But this is going to be discussed and implemented hopefully soon. And if you click on one of the articles that we at the moment still write by hand, you see that the text is pretty lean. It's very simple, it's very basic. You also have, of course, the links to the studies that we are looking at. And you also usually have 3 actionable items. So basically, thanks for the information, but what is it that I'm going to do with the information now? That's a little bit the idea, to make the learning part a little bit easier for everyone. Because I don't know about you guys, but for me, reading big texts is just overwhelming. So that's why we want to keep it as simple as possible. And then last year, I was writing the book, Why Suddenly Everyone Has ADHD. Of course, there's a link if you want to check it out on Amazon. And I was also writing a little playbook that is called the Neurodivergent Reset. Also, it's linked here if you want to dive into it. This is also in the Learn bucket. And now the most important one is the grow part. So basically, I am not logged in at the moment, but this is, let's say, the basics that you see when you enter the grow area, where we have certified and professional coaches that really get the hang of neurodivergence. They really understand it, and they can really help from a very empathetic point of view. Not too much systemic, but more on the empathetic side, which is super important, also out of experience. And we realized over the course of years that sometimes you are on wait lists for psychotherapy, and the wait lists are super long, 6 months, 12 months, sometimes even longer. And unfortunately, it's also a little bit biased, because in Switzerland, for example, if you know someone, you definitely get your appointment much faster, which is not really fair, right? And we cut the bias, basically. We cut the wait lists, we cut the research of finding the right person, etc., by having this offering So basically, you can see here again, what are the benefits. Basically, it's faster, it's more practical, as well, more cost effective, and very flexible because we do online only. And our coaches, they are very direct, clear, and you have actionable outcomes that you can use for daily improvements, dealing with a world basically that hasn't been created for you. And there's also some information that depending on which country you are, you have potential coverage from the health insurance or tax deductibility. But this is something that you would need to check with your current provider. And if you have any tax implications that you can use of, you would need to speak to a tax advisor, but usually you can deduct it depending on for what you use it for. And if I now go in as a member, it's the same membership. You don't have to do a second account or something like that. So I am still my Lisa Gerrits member. So I go into the Grow section. And now as a member, you can see the different services. So basically, at the moment, the filter options are still pretty basic. We are working on that to make it more effective, because sometimes you might want to have someone that is specialized in female empowerment, for example, and ADHD support, for example. At the same time, you also might want to filter by languages, etc. So we are working on that right now. But at the moment, as you can see, we have our welcome sessions, we have ADHD holistic coaching, we have ADHD coaching, autism coaching, we have parenting and single parents, but also executive function, life structure support, nutrition and wellness, also very important. We have giftedness support, communication and boundaries, but also neuroaffirming coaching. We have workplace consulting, basically female empowerment, relationship coaching, trauma-informed coaching, and also an emergency support. What I want to mention and highlight here is, okay, trigger warning, but if someone is really suicidal or is having a heavy depression, heavy burnout, we are an extended arm of support, but we would potentially not be your first go-to. We have emergency support that will be available within half an hour. So you can go online and book an appointment. We also have coaches that committed themselves for the weekends, really for emergency. But if you feel like something is really, 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 really super, super bad, we would still advise you to, either call a suicide hotline or calling like an emergency clinic, for example, because that would be more severe. So our goal with NeuroMynds is really helping you and supporting you through your everyday life, going through the journey of grief that a lot of people have when they find out later in life that they have neurodivergence. The very classic common thing is the wasted potential, in vertical commas. A lot of people reported that this is probably the hardest one, but also like untangling, let's say, the people pleasing, social camouflaging, always trying to fit in, to keep yourself safe, but at the end of the day, you're completely losing yourself. And we want to support neurodivergents to really, really, really get the help and support they need to thrive as their authentic selves. That's the idea and the goal. And how you can actually book a coach is we go to the welcome, for example. We advise to start off with a welcome because it's a 15-minute call for free with any coach that you are choosing, because for us it's important that you do a vibe check to see if the person is really vibing and matching with you and with your personality and your needs, etc., which also in the traditional psychotherapy landscape often has been the case, that you are on a wait list of 12 months and then you enter the room and you meet the person and you're like, No, it doesn't really work. So we also wanted to cut this barrier. And here you can see the different coaches that we have. Julia, Nachli, Irene, Kate, Christina, etc., etc. And then basically, if you click on a coach, you see what they are specialized in. Sometimes you also have the websites of them. Sometimes you have their Instagram profiles as well. And surely you have the text they create themselves to introduce themselves, so you can read a little bit what is it that they are specialized in, etc. And if it resonates, you can basically go to book, and then let's say we stay with Chantal. You were just reading about her. You click continue. Sometimes, especially when we have like parenting sessions or relationship sessions, you can add people that are joining, or you just say, no, it's only for you. And then basically you have a day that you can choose. Let's choose Christmas. Oh, she's even available on Christmas Friday. So just as an example, you can choose the day and the time for your convenience. It's only 15 minutes, right, to get to know each other. You continue. Your name is already automatically in there, your email address as well. You enter your phone number, but it's not mandatory. You click continue, and then basically that's it. So now you get the confirmation because it was for free, right? This is like the get to know each other session. And you can also add it to your calendar if you have Google, Outlook, Apple, whatever. You just click finish, and that's it. And basically, when you want, if you met the person and you are happy, what you can do as well is incorrect email or password. Okay, whatever it wanted me to do. Probably it wanted me to log in as a coach, but I'm not. If you say that you're happy with her, you can click on the proper session that you want to do. Book now. We take Chantal as well. And we have the same procedure. So basically, you click the day, you select your time, you click continue, and then basically you have the payment option. And you have Google Pay, you can use Link, and we are connected to Stripe. It's super safe, super simple, super easy. You just click continue, and then you have the appointment in your calendar. You also receive an email that the appointment is successful, and then you can join on that day via Google Meets. So it's all seamlessly integrated, very simple, very straightforward. And who has been creating this? It was obviously not only myself. We also have our wonderful co-founder that is also in the call, Sarah, that was building and supporting this platform. We have technical support of Mark. We have Julia that will be next year more involved on the research side. We had Yanis supporting us in creating the platform. My sister is supporting on the marketing side. We have Firas that is helping, supporting us on the legal and compliance side. We have a new joiner, Ali. Dr. Ali is basically, he's a neuroscientist that just joined us that will also help and support for the research and development part that we want to do. Amrita that was also helping us with the colors and everything that we chose for the website. And then we had Irina's powerful support to actually put like the boxes into the right corners, etc., and to make it appealing and user-friendly and beautiful. And we have Montgomery that is keeping my mind calm on a daily basis as well. And what we care about is empowerment, inclusion, and innovation. So we really want to empower our community to be their full, authentic selves. And inclusion is also for us as neurodivergents important. Also, the fact that a lot of neurodivergents have been excluded by society. We want to make it different. We also want to include absolutely everyone as much as possible. And innovation, of course, because we we see that the, let's say, basic support or basic help is not enough, especially for neurodivergents that are, by majority so smart and have such a high intelligence that you need to actually have a help and support system that is more holistic to support all the different areas, where one of our guiding principles, also from an innovation point of view, is to have the community, the movement, the learn part to really cut through the noise, and to get the support from coaches to actually have, let's say, a beautiful symbiosis of homecoming, basically. And I talked a lot. If you have any other questions, we also have, for example, the Neuro News, which means that we are updating on a regular basis whenever we are in podcasts, or if we have keynote speeches, etc., or if we have articles, etc., then we will put it into the Neuro News. So we just started that off. We also have a newsletter you can subscribe to. No worries, we don't bother you. We just do it once per month, where we introduce new coaches, what have been the developments on the platform, etc. Probably in December we will have not that much going anymore. But basically, these are the new notes. We have our social media channels, as you can see here. We have a podcast as well that I have to continue at some point. So in the last weeks, it was a bit silent, but I will take that up in 2026 again as well. Obviously, the whole legal stuff, like terms of use, privacy policy, refunds, etc. And also support if you need. We have an FAQ that is pretty cool. We just started that. Probably at some point we will also enhance it a little bit, but there are like basic questions like, how do I talk about my neurodivergence without feeling judged? Because I think this is a very classic and common experience. How do I manage overwhelm, etc. And you have, of course, the contact us form. So basically, you can send us a message, and it will land in our inbox, where Sarah and myself have access. So whatever you have, whatever you want to let us know, you can use it anytime. And if you have any questions, or if you would like to add something, let me know. But I